Okay guys, so I'm going to be talking over some of this video, but basically right here, I'm just explaining that this case is heavy. This is a 360 photo booth that is sturdy, it is solid, it is built well. We have already used it a half dozen times or more, and it has been thrown around, it has been operated by multiple people, and so this is a great setup. But it's heavy, and so I was explaining when you're pulling this case out, it'd be great to have some help. I'm kind of showing you some of the insides cables we have. This is the bags we got. One bag with the actual 360 booth, and then other bags I found, but we just kind of keep all of our stuff in there. I leave a bunch of extra cables, extra power bricks. I'm kind of a hoarder when it comes to making sure I guess a doomsday prepper. I want all my stuff to be there in case we need a backup. So what I'm grabbing right now is the 360 stand, but I was having a hard time getting it out, and I realized, oh, I have this piece back there. So one of the hard parts about putting this away is finding the best setup for you. There is really no rhyme or reason as far as like how you're going to cram that stuff in there. But once you figure it out, it works, and I've never had a problem getting everything back in. However, I did have to be creative every time that I tried to. So I'm 5'5", about 155, 160 pounds, and I consider myself to be pretty strong. But this thing is awkwardly heavy, and getting it in and out of my Forerunner is not necessarily the easiest thing. So if you have extra hands, you have a teammate, this would be a great for a couple. If you have a couple people working it, or if you're like a husband and wife that wants to go out and do like a photography business or whatever, if you're a wedding venue, a DJ, partners in crime, whatever, it's just great to have some extra help on this, getting it loaded and unloaded. So a lot of times I'll get everything set up, I'll put all my extra bags and everything inside of this case. The one thing about this case is that it does not afford you the space for, I don't put my iPad in there, I leave my tablet separately. Also, I do not put any of our props in there. So we're going to go ahead and jump into me setting this up. This is a long process as far as watching this video. I don't want to time lapse it because I want you to get a real-time understanding of how this goes together. So my voice isn't too quiet in this part of the video, so I will just go ahead and let my narrative take over from the original recording. Now this is the smaller 360 booth from this company. I've really been happy with the company. They've been incredibly communicative, very, very kind. I actually lost one of the remotes for the LED light, and I lost the remote for the actual assembly, and they were able to get me, I was able to reorder one. I was really concerned about how hard it would to find a replacement, and the company was, man, they were awesome to communicate with. So you see I actually have this right here on the pole. I'll show you a little bit later how it goes in, but basically you slide that right there, and this gives you the ability to, you see right here, on and off, and you have reverse and then speed up and speed down. So you leave this on your setup, and this allows people to run the booth, or you can have somebody monitoring it and running the booth, and then you just tap the screen and say go for it. Now I'll show you some of the footage that I have. There is actually an app specifically for this booth, and there's a subscription fee. I'm not really positive what the subscription fee is. However, there are a bunch of photo booth apps for 360 booths, and there's different abilities that they have and different prices and settings. But the one app that runs with this booth, actually, when you tap it to start the photo or the GIF or the boomerang, what's really cool is it's all done in the app, and it's synced, Bluetooth syncs with the actual 360 booth, so everything operates in one. And I'm cool with that. You're going to want to check out the different options. However, I don't use that app for different reasons, and I prefer to have the remote control. So pretty durable. You're definitely going to get nicks and stuff. This is a replaceable, on the top of this is a replaceable film. And so we've had it for quite a while. It's been moved, it's been hit, and so it will get scratches and dings, and you technically could peel this off and put your own stuff there. You could paint it, you can get another sticker. It is really cool. It comes with LED lights that wrap around the edge. I'm going to try to get these plugged in. The last time I went to hook them up, I think I broke them, so I did order a new set of lights to go around the edge, and we're going to set this up. So the way this sets up, and I hope you can see it really well. It's very simple, and I have another booth as well from a different maker. But the way this sets up is very simple. Now, when I take this apart, I leave the hardware in the threaded spots so that I don't misplace. Also, I have different people that set this up at different times because I'm trying to get this thing off the ground, and I want to be able to train people and hire people. But this is one of the most simple booths and the least amount of pieces. So you have this right here, and it's 2 arms, makes it nice and sturdy, and you're just going to stick that right in. Oh man, oh, that might look silly. All right, we're going to stick that right in there, and you're going to thread your screws right back in. And technically, I didn't have to unscrew them the whole way, but I just wanted to show you that they are these. These are called wing nuts, or close to something like that, a threaded ring nut or ring bolt or whatever. So you're going to put that in there. You want that to be in there nice and tight so that this thing doesn't slide out. I mean, you are going to have some momentum, centrifugal force, so you don't want that to be an issue. Now, you're going to take these off, and like I said, I put my hardware, I always put it back in, because you do have to break this down for it to go back into the case. Now, if you had, you can make your own case where you don't have to break this down. I'm sure there's different options that you could create. But technically, the way this goes, you have your pull right here, and the setup on this is literally minutes as you get into the habit. Now, you can pivot this however you want. I typically have mine almost upright, and I'll show you why. Because you can actually adjust it, and there we go. So I always do the top one first, and here's why, because the center one's easy to line up after that. So yeah, what's cool about this is you're actually going to have this pole, so you can pivot this head right here. And so when I first did this, I was like, do I need to have it straight up? Do I need to have it back? And I was really overwhelmed trying to get it figured out. And then I realized it doesn't matter because the head pivots. And so you really don't want it too high up, because if you have multiple people on there, you don't want it to smack them. You don't want it too far back because it's going to go 360 degrees in a circle. And what's going to happen is you're going to end up hitting something if you have people around. So what I like about it is that you can actually create the radius of it, the circumference of it. Radius, circumference, I don't know, whatever. You can create that based on how your space is. So if you have a tighter space, lean it a little closer, push the bars in a little bit. But if you have an open space, you might want to have a big visibility. So you're just going to kind of pick that apart based on your venue, and I like that this is set up with such an easy way to make that adjustment. Now this is going to slide right on top of there, and you're going to have your light, and bam, you are rocking with that. And give me 1 second, I'll show you how this works. Okay, so you're going to want a battery pack of some type. This is a nice larger battery pack. Has multiple USB ports. Why are you going to do that? Because you can see down here at the bottom, you'll actually have, let me see if I can show you, bam, right here at the bottom, you're going to have, I have just Velcro right there. So I put Velcro on the bar. I'll typically wrap this around so that we're not getting any type of madness. And you're just gonna pretty much set your light to a static, nice, warm color. And what's cool is like if you ever break this, it's not that big of a deal. It's an easy fix by just getting another ring light. It's fine. Very simple. I've broken them. They're cheap to replace. And then you are gonna get your power. Now think about this. I've only paused just to go to the other room and get different things. But realistically, you're seeing me set this up. No time lapse. I wanted to do that to show you how fast this actually takes or happens. And then, like I said, you're gonna have to get down low to find your plug-ins and stuff like that. But overall, man, this thing happens pretty dang easy, pretty dang quick. We're gonna plug it. We're gonna get you running. Bam, plugged in. And I have to put some batteries in the remote because, like I said, I lost my remote, and I'm really excited about the company sending me a new remote. That was so kind of them. Just pop the back of this thing off. It's a very simple fix. Bam, bam. Sorry about the boxes in my house. I spent a lot of time looking for photo booth options. We use them for our church. We use them for events. We have used them for multiple reasons. And I'm looking into like starting different little businesses and revenue streams of revenue for my wife and I. So we bought this, and honestly, like we have pretty much, it's paid for itself pretty quickly based on how we've used it and how we needed to use it. I think you are putting this in, not sure which way it goes in, but we're gonna shove it in there and see if that's it. So, yeah, there we go. So on and off, and we're gonna get that rocking. So, put that back together. Looks like that is working. There we go. It's not the most durable remote. Like this thing is not a Timex. It's not going to take a licking and keep on ticking. So be very considerate in how you handle this. I got a few of these remotes because I understand the possibility of them getting damaged while being used. I'm okay with that. I don't expect it to be Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So here we go. If I can figure it out. I haven't done this in there we go. So very simple, on, off, and I'm gonna make sure that we are good to go. All right, guys, we are back at it, and you believe it or not, I have been going back and forth with tech support because the remote that they make for this I had lost and I had to reorder. So to a testament of this company, they have been so available to me and have helped me, and so I'm really excited because there is an app which I'm going to show you how to use. But if you are having someone man this, there's multiple ways of being able to set up this photo booth. You can have people standing here, and you can have a tablet which will hook on right here, or a phone. I use an iPad, and I change the pivot to this so that it stands up nice and perfect. So yeah, and when I'm setting this up, I make sure that I have it far enough out, and I mentioned this earlier, that it's not going to hit anybody or any of your perimeter. You could carry stanchiones with your gig and box off the space, just put a perimeter around where you want this thing to swing. You can change the axis right here so that it goes further out or further up, and then also your ball head will pivot right here to allow you to adjust your tablet. And then each one of these, this comes with the booth, each one of these loosens and you can actually extend this. So this really gives you a lot of flexibility. I've never been in a room where I couldn't handle the space. This booth is a smaller one, and we have had actually 3 people on here, but I'll show you right here with my crazy Crocs. Really, 2 is comfortable, but you can do 3 people. They have to be on the booth, otherwise they're going to get their ankles kicked out with that when it spins. But the company has been going back and forth with me, and this is a testament to the company. I'm super grateful for their tech support, their customer service. And I finally figured out we had to sync this because the original remote was synced, but I lost the remote, so they sent me a new one, and here we go. So you actually will spin this thing, and you have up and down speeds. So you can speed it up, and you can see the speed behind me. And this thing can fly too, but I've never needed it that fast, and I don't foresee any reason why you'd want it that fast. And then you can actually reverse it. So really the 2 options that you're going to have when you set this up for a gig is you are going to have individuals running this themselves, or you're going to have somebody standing here remotely and they're going to say, okay, press the button, 3, 2, 1, go. And I'm going to show you the app that this company has. And in their app, you actually can just set up the tablet, and it can be self-ran. And when you press the button, it syncs Bluetooth with this actual platform. And that is a massive perk. So what we have done in the past is we have them hit go, and then we have the person on the booth actually holding this. They hit go, they press the remote at the same time. So pretty cool. Let me show you some other neat features. Not only do you get the remote for that, but you do also get this setup. So pretty awesome. It looks great when you walk into a room, and there's auto. I typically just leave it on that, but this is all the different options. Just the standard RGB LEDs rope light, but they give it to you with this platform. And once again, customer service was able to help me get a replacement for this. My pack had gotten snagged, and so it wasn't working. Alexa, turn off the fan. You can see how cool this thing looks. So you walk into a room and you got this thing set up. Man, does it look awesome. And I'll show you in the video a couple of the reels that we've made, and you can export. There are different apps you can use, but even the app that comes with it, you can export as GIF or boomerangs. So pretty cool. Okay guys, so this is the app for this photo booth, and the app is actually called Chacktok, C-H-A-C-K-T-O-K, and you can adjust right here the speed at
maximum speed.
So there you go, maximum speed of how fast this thing
minimum
will go.
Speed.
And then you also have duration. What's cool is the 5-second pretty much just gives it a full loop-de-doo. So right now it's playing, and right in front of me it is moving. Because it was 5 seconds at that speed, it only went a quarter turn. So if you were going to do that, you probably want to give it about 4, and you're going to get a full spin, which is exactly what it did. So what's neat is you can set this up on the iPad or your phone device at an event, and then you can go in here and you can actually create your events. Here was an illustration of one we did. And so when the device is up, people can actually click enter event, and you would go ahead and do a boomerang.
3, 2, 1.
So you're going to see it is moving right there. Almost smacked me in the head. I did not know it was going to turn my device on to show you how that goes. All right. So it's moving right there. Almost smacked me in the head. I did not know it was going to turn my device on to show you how that goes. So it's moving around, and now it's going to go ahead and create this watermark for you, and then you can send it with a QR code, SMS, and pretty cool. Now, when you're setting these up, you can actually put in here lower thirds, you can put an overlay, and that's what we do. I don't actually use this app when using Chat Talk or using this booth, and I just have my reasons. It's honestly a great way to go, and probably if I would have known about the actual app whenever I originally set this up, stupid me, I didn't read all the directions. But if I would have known that, I probably would have started using this immediately. And the reason I like it is because the device is synced up directly with the tablet or display, and you don't have to have a secondary. However, as I mentioned in the video, we put the remote control in the user's hand and they press play and they record, and we use a different app. However, in the future, I very well may just move to Chat Talk. When you pay for the full service of the app, it will not have the watermark. So that is how the app works, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave comments, or I will send information directly to the company that makes this. And you guys, if you have questions, I'm sure, as well as they've been to me, they would be very helpful to you as well. So if you're looking for a great 360 platform, the durability, I mean, this thing's solid. I have another one not by the same company, and it is not as solid. The ability to customize the pitch and the axis of it. And then what I suggest you do is get a really good charger. And honestly, I would recommend, if you can get one big enough, I Velcroed this, get one big enough that maybe has a 110 plug outlet on it. 110, 120, whatever, standard plug. And a couple USBs. This one's going bad. One of my ports doesn't work. And make sure it carries a strong charge. The second thing that I have is I have a Jackery portable pack. So if I don't have power directly available, I can actually just run my plugs, and I'll either bring gaff tape or I'll bring one of those rubber tracks that go over your cables to keep it safe, and I'll have a portable battery with me. So once again, let me just show you what it looks like when you run it. Just hit your button. Pretty cool. And you can speed it up. And right now I'm about 6 feet away. And the remote gives you good extension. If you contact this company on my link, you will actually be able to get a discount. And I highly suggest this booth, man. It's phenomenal. So I will show you guys additionally in this video how the app works. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment. And then you can also contact the company if you have any specific questions regarding specifications for it. There are multiple sizes, so I will make sure that I include that in the description.